Well, guys, today is Thursday. You missed a whole day yesterday of my best videos ever. All right. No, what I had done yesterday, I was mentioning to you when I put the antenna up that I was a little concerned about reaching that wire for the coax. So what I had done was I went up on the roof and scooted over to the pole because the roof is on a bit of an angle, which is one thing. It's kind of walkable, but if you trip, you're not going to recover from it. So, you kind of like get on your knees and scoot over on your butt type of thing. Plus, there's a lot of wires up there. I got wires running, I got 16 or so wires running off the tripod, almost like an umbrella. So you're ducking under wires and stuff like that. But anyway, I got to the pole, and when I had got to the pole, I stood up next to it because I had it to support me, and I'm about 3 feet from touching that connector. So there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to just get up on the roof and screw it in. So that was that. So I got to figure out how. Well, I think I know how. If you look out the window, you can probably see the ladder and the pole. But I'm not going to do it until Darlene's home, and today she works and tomorrow she works, so I'll wait until the weekend. But other than that, I don't know if you guys remember, I know because I drop a lot of videos. There was an antenna that I have up in the tree over here. You're probably not going to see it. Yeah, you may see it. It's hanging from here up to that tree up there. I don't know if you're going to see it or not, but it's got a big droop in it. That was drooping, and I keep it tied up on a pulley over on the other property in a fence, and I found that one of the lines let loose, so I readjusted it, and I'm saying, well, it should be okay, but I don't know. Well, after the storm we had over the last couple of days, I noticed we got a real big droop in it. So that's a good thing in a way. Because that means, and I checked over there and it's not there. So that means it's kind of just hung up in the branches. So I figured while I was on the roof, I may be able to pull that down. Well, I pulled it some to where I got more of a loop. However, I couldn't pull it out of the tree. It needs a little bit more oomph. So what I'm going to do is heave a line over that and then hook it up to the tractor and just give it a little tug. It doesn't need a lot. I may be able to pull it down myself once I'm on the ground and not hanging over the roof. But once I get it down, that'll be a good thing because I can just run it, over to a branch for now, as long as it's off the ground about 15 feet, so that, Darlene and the boys don't run into it. And Jem, I keep, boys. So, but at that point, I got to work on that. I may try to get to that today. I don't know. And I also hooked up the rotor, or as some people call it, the rotator. The rotator. And I've been firing up this with a little bit of wood, and so far it seems to be doing okay. I ran a little bit of a hot fire yesterday, but I didn't want to run it real hot. Because I want to just kind of work it in, because it's still burning off some of the crap that's on top of the plenum. So let me grab some wood as long as I'm going in there. So I keep a couple out here. It's not the best stuff. It's a little damp. It's a little light. But it lets me get it hot enough just to where I know I'm getting some of this crap off it. So, throw it in there. Some of this wood is really too old to burn, believe it or not. Okay, so anyway, I got the rotor hooked up like I told you. So I got that all ran. And then I actually took a video of it, and I'm going to do it again, of it turning, because I wanted to make sure. There was a few things that I was concerned about when I was working on that antenna and the pole. One was the pole itself, because I know once it starts going up, it was going to do this at the end. It was just going to happen. And I wanted to make sure, or hopefully make sure, that the welds were going to hold, which they did. The other thing was supporting, to a point to over support the rotor and antenna, because the rotor is two parts. So if there's too much weight on the end and it's doing this as it goes up, it's a good possibility that the rotor would have split and the top half would have came off the bottom half. So I needed to make sure that I over supported that so that it wouldn't happen, which it didn't. The next thing is the SWRs, because if the SWRs are too high, then we got an issue here, because that means that depending on how high, I may have to take it down, because there's no way of doing it up there. I can maybe putz around with coax lengths. That's kind of cheating, but sometimes that'll work a little bit. But it's better off just doing it at the antenna. So that would be my next concern. Other than that, and making sure that the rotor worked when it went up. So the pole went up easy. Well, not easy. It took time, but it went up. The rotor stayed on, so the extra supports that I put on that may have looked like a lot of overkill, I needed it. I knew I was going to need it because of this going on. That worked. So the raising of the antenna with everything worked. It's strapped up. That's holding. The rotor, I hooked it up. The rotor's working. Now the only thing I got to do is check the SWRs, and I can't do that until I get a piece of coax. I don't want to keep adding coax. I want one piece, 2 pieces at tops, and I'll probably end up with 2 pieces, but I only want 1 piece from that, so 2 pieces total. So I have coax. The coax has these connectors on it. That's called a PL259 connector. I got to put 2 of these together. Well, you don't just cut and splice. If you do that, whatever you're hooking it up to, you're going to blow it up. So if you want to blow up your radios, then just tie them together, because that's what's going to happen. And it's not going to work anyway. If you're just using it as a receiver, you can probably get away with it. However, you got to put a barrel connector in there. So this, with the coax on it, would screw in one side, and then the other would screw in the other side. That's how you can add coax to it. Now, you don't want to add a bunch of these in line, because you lose a little bit with these. And I don't want to end up losing more than what the antenna is going to give me. So I have to watch what I do. That's why I only want to put another piece up. I don't want to, if I wanted to run 3 pieces, I have enough, because the wire that's out there makes it to the pole and up about 4 feet. So I'd have to add maybe another 12 feet, which I have, but I don't want to have 2 of these hooked up. One is, it gives you room for, problems, weather, connections coming loose, wire. It's just so many things that can go wrong. You want to eliminate that. So 1 is going to be okay, but that's about it.